Hi there everyone, it's Emmy from The Bridge Coaching and I'm here with part 3 of the 6 core needs series that we're doing at the moment. The third one is significance. So significance, the core need significance is all about knowing that you matter. Now this may or may not be, as I explained in the first video, a key driver for you. It will be somewhere on the range of really important to not important. And significance is not something that a lot of people don't like to admit that they're driven by. I personally am driven by significance and not ashamed of it even a little bit, because there is two different sides to significance. So the first one is the resourceful side of significance. If you are driven by this need to get it met in a resourceful way. And there is the unresourceful way that I see far too often, both in companies, individuals, and even in personal relationships or loving relationships. So one thing that you really need to remember when it comes to significance is that we all have a need on some scale to know that we matter. Just look at things like Facebook and other things today. It's so common for people to put their highlight reel and when things are as good as possible out there to the world for the world to see. But in reality, it's not always great, and we know that. So how do you get this need met on a consistent basis and stay healthy with it? Well, that can be a really challenging thing. So the resourceful side of significance is someone who walks their talk, someone who lives their truth, someone who is a good example of what they believe in. I went to see Dr. John Demartini a little while ago. If you haven't heard about Dr. John Demartini, I was strongly encouraged to look him up. And whether you like his teachings or not, he talks a lot about values. Whether you like his teachings or not, he's walking his talk. He is living his truth and he's absolutely believing in himself to the point where he's able to be a giver of significance, which is a really resourceful thing. So a giver of significance is able to empower their team, their partner and other people because they're already walking their truth and feeling good on the inside most of the time, even if they also have crap days. So these people are able to give significance, give praise, make other people feel like they matter too. Because there's not a zero-sum game where if you get one, someone else doesn't get one. It's more like if I feel better, I can help you feel better and then we can all share, which is why I'm doing these videos. So a giver of significance is very much about walking their talk, being true to themselves. And if you believe in something and you don't do it, again, go read Dr. John Demartini's book, The Values Factor. It's absolutely amazing. But this is the thing. So many of us, we talk a big talk, but we don't actually walk the walk. And that is the really, really important thing to do here if you want to live this value resourcefully ongoing, even if you can have your dips sometimes. The unresourceful side of significance is people who, get by stepping on other people. I've seen this in many relationships, friendships, and organizations at work. So this is your typical person who takes credit for something that they didn't actually do just to feel better or look better. They will operate from a place of scarcity where there's not enough for everyone. So that whole zero-sum game, they're like, well, if you win, I'm going to lose. I personally choose to believe in the win-win-win, which is there is a win for the greater good, there's a win for me, and there's a win for you. And if you operate from that space, life becomes a lot more abundant. And I know that can be a bit of a fluffy word for some of you listening, but think about it. It's actually really, really tangible. So the need for significance, the unresourceful way of meeting that, it can be to create drama, to create conflict, to create problems, all sorts of different things, gossip, martyrdom, all that sort of stuff are different ways of getting attention and getting significance. If you think about it, I'm sure you've got a friend or a child or someone in your surroundings that you've looked at and gone, why do they do that? Well, if they have a need for significance and it's not being met, they are going to do rebellion of some sort. And that rebellion is a sign that something's not right. And sadly, I want to mention it as well, living in a world that we do where many people at work and in their social life are absolutely starved of significance means that they start to have thoughts of self-harm. And thoughts of self-harm come from the space that I don't matter. So if you want to live this need, whether it's your driver or not quite your driver, I would really encourage you to always strive to be a giver of significance. You need to get your own needs met first, of course, and sometimes this means doing a little bit of personal work or being a little bit more clear on what fills your bucket so that there's plenty for everyone and that it doesn't become that zero-sum game. And you have healthy routines and other things which we talk about, routines as part of certainty, the first core human need. So that's basically the gist around significance, and significance is probably one of the needs I see not being met in most people. So sometimes you need to work out really creative ways of how to meet this need for yourself. Believe in yourself, walk your talk, pat yourself on the back, and pat others on the back too. Be generous in who you are. And this is usually, I noticed that when I sort of shifted over to that win-win-win mindset, that if it's good for the greater good, the organization I'm in or whatever, it's good for me and it's good for the other individual, then everybody wins. It's not a zero-sum game, and it's not something you need to fight for. And if you spot people who do this, this core need unresourcefully, it can be really, really difficult sometimes. But one way to get around it and help a person get out of that rut is to sometimes give them significance without expecting anything in return. So that is the gist about this core need of significance. I would really encourage you to take a short break, maybe just a minute or two, and watch our next video on love and connection, because that need matches quite closely to significance. I'd love your comments or any questions that you have. Always email us at hello@thebridgecoaching.com.au if you have any questions about this or how we can help you work this out if this is something you're having a problem with. See you soon.